right. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Sorry, keep running off with the headset again. Um. All right. So, what do we got here? The pound coming in with not only a raise but a huge surprise. Point 0.5 raise. That's crazy. Um. Did not see that one coming. But the funny part about this is the end result we talked about was going to be pound weakness, right? We talked about, you know, looking at news release and being short the pound. And some of the craziness of this one is like if you look at like the pound dollar, yeah, there was this craziness candle up and down. It's like, holy crap, what do we do with this? But since the release came out, there's the weakness that we talked about, right? There's the weakness that we talked about. So, pretty much across the board, the sentiment was right. Didn't expect that five. I don't think the market did as well. It's really a shame that it did come in higher because that was a great short trade. The fact that it raised point 0.5 and is still lower, man, that 0.75, that was good. Billy's comments, right? We're not seeking to precipitate a recession. We cannot continue to have the current level of wage increases. I'll do what I can to cut inflation. We're not signaling what will come next on rates. So basically saying that, yeah, with all things being said, and again, remember, the UK actually started raising rates first. Um, they were like the first of like the big five. Um, you know, being first, going to five now. Yeah, being a smaller nation, smaller GDP, we thought that they had some crazy issues in there, and they're like, that was it. They were done. Um, and now we're seeing them not only raise, but again, a double raise, like over what the expectation was. So that's kind of a crazy move. Swiss did exactly what they thought, right? They raised the 0.75, and then there's some of those comments in there as well. Um, as far as major movers out there right now, euro dollar is the best. We're seeing dollar weakness kind of creep in across the board. Euro dollar 66, pound dollar only at 42. So it's not, again, it's weakness versus weakness. Dollar yen completely flat at zero. Dollar Swiss down 47. And people say, oh, it's because they raised. It's like, yeah, is it? Or is that about what everybody else is? And it's about what everybody else is because, the expectation was there. And again, the Swiss is not necessarily the biggest, throwing around, currency. Dollar CAD down 51. Aussie dollar up 23, not that much. And then euro pound up a little bit. Again, pound weakness creeping in. And then again, the pound yen is up 60. But again, 60 for the pound yen. Is that a lot? No, not really. That's a smaller amount. So not a total that we're looking at where it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's major movement inside of the end of the pound, right? No, pound yen is you know, super flat for what it could be, right? For what it could be. Hold on one second. Sorry, I got to keep my phone near. Supposedly, the truck is supposedly the truck is they're it's up on. I'll get a call before 10 o'clock today. Is what and I was like, listen, I need it for a road trip tomorrow. And he's like, oh, I don't see that being a problem. I'm like, okay. Um, I guess the power something in the power steering ruptured. I guess is what it is now. And he's like, listen, I want to make sure this is not something we did. I was like, well, my opinion is kind of hard that it's not something you guys did. You guys, the power steering gearbox or whatever it is, you guys took that out, replaced it. So a day later, when it comes back and then the power steering ruptures, I feel like it's pretty hard to say that like that wasn't something you did or was involved with. You took an entire thing out, put a new thing in, and then something ruptures. I mean, maybe it was going to rupture beforehand, but that wasn't the case of when I brought it to you. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun conversation later. Um, but yeah, so I definitely need it back for tomorrow. Hopefully, I get it back later today. Anyway, Powell is testifying day two. We got some great headlines yesterday from Powell. Question is, I wonder if again, Bailey, inflation is still too high, right? And we got to deal with what we got, right? I mean, the U.S. has said the same thing, but people are convinced that they are done. Um, so we'll see what Powell throws in day two. I have a feeling that we'll get. I don't want to say more fair balance because I don't think he was necessarily off base with what he said yesterday. I don't think there was anything earth shatteringly like surprising, at least for me, that he said. Um, but I'm wondering if we are going to get something today where there's just something that he says that people are like, what? Like perk their ears up, right? Bostic yesterday, I don't know if you saw it or not. Bostic was mouthing off yesterday about, oh, I don't think we need any more raises. Bostic is just, yeah. Um, he's like all over the place. It's funny. Yesterday, the comments were, and I don't even think I can go back far enough, but yesterday, all the comments were Powell's like, almost everyone agrees that we need a raise. And then today, Bostic's like, it was me that says it wasn't, right? Right? No, I don't think we should raise again. I think we're done. I think we should be done, right? Um, yeah, he was the one that says, "Oh, yeah, we need to." Last year, some of the comments that he made, he was like all over the place. It's like, he was almost like kind of like bipolar in his statements. He would say one thing, but then it's like, "Oh, yeah, we need to front load this, right? I think it's appropriate. Maybe at the next one or two meetings, we could, start to raise, point 0.25 total. It's like that's a front, right? What front load? What, right? Like he was just, it wasn't matching up. So we'll see. But I do think we'll get some more out of Powell today. And again, I think the U.S. market will respond to this. It's like, whoa, the UK just jumped this, and whoa, really, right? Not as dominant. Um, Tomorrow morning early. Update. I will not be able to broadcast tomorrow morning. I originally thought I was going to be able to leave for the boys tournament later than what I was. It's a 3.5 hour drive, and now I'm picking up two other kids. So unfortunately, I will not be able to broadcast tomorrow, especially with the rain and everything else. Probably slowing things down. But yeah, I have to pick up three kids and then take off by like 10:30. So it's just not going to work. I was hoping that I could thread it in, but I won't be here tomorrow. But a lot of the news tomorrow morning will come in fast and furious in the morning. All the PMI data will come in, both for the UK, for the EU, as well as the US, all right behind each other. None of them are really expected to kind of make any earth-shatteringly big changes. No one is projected to go above and below 50 where they were before last reading. So I would expect that it's not going to be necessarily a huge moving day. If there is a surprise, obviously we will get some movement. But overall, it doesn't look like anything is expected this time to really be there. And, you know, the only things I think there's a 48 right here, the flash manufacturer number that has the potential to pop. Um, Last time it was expected to be right at 50 and it came in at 58.4. It's actually showing it's adjusted down a little bit. So I think that has the potential. And the only other thing that's even close would be, French flash services that is close at 52. It was supposed to be 54 before. So that's the only one, but that one shouldn't change the euro trajectory too much. So not necessarily worried about that. So as far as all the data that we have tomorrow, all extremely important data, but I don't feel like a lot of it is necessarily even with a surprise. I don't think any of the surprises are going to change the trajectory too much. I mean, I guess if flash services data for the US does go below 50, then it shows that the US manufacturing and services is in a contraction, and that could turn ugly quickly. But besides that, that's the only major piece tomorrow morning, really, in all of this. That I think at this point can really change the trajectory. I think everything else is basically going to stay on the right side of where they are. Okay. So again, PAL, and then tomorrow morning, I think whatever sense of what we get in the morning, I think we send one way, and then we probably reverse in the U.S. session, and we just kind of reset for next week. It's probably how. Again, it was a shortened week with the holiday in the U.S. Not that it was shortened around the world, but again, having that U.S. trader out on Monday adds a big deal in. What? What happened? She poked you in the belly? Yeah, she bad girl? Yeah, where's your play? Go get your play. Go get your play, buds. It's me and the two little ones today. So Jin is here. Ooh, sparkle, sparkle. Here, sparkle, sparkle. Here, give us the Jin. Here, give that to Jin. Uh-oh. All right, so let's jump across. So VIX. Nice little gap in the VIX. Is it really anything that's you're like, ooh, this is bad? Not really. I mean, it did pop back up again. And I think where we're at, it's fine. We're still extremely low, right? 13.8 is not big. I guess it is compared to 13.2. But you can see yesterday morning, we were right around the same point. Even with the markets doing what they did. What, buds? I can't right now. Here. Boom. There you go. Here, Daddy fix for you. There you go. Okay, there's a rubber band on it. I don't know what he wants. But where we are, not really any major signs here. The dollar, again, we took that big drop yesterday morning, right? And then we maintained and stabilized and just kind of held it, right? It didn't really necessarily move anywhere. Here, buds. Here, go look at the TV, buds. Here, go look at the TV. What's Daddy putting on the TV? You want Masha Bear on the TV? You want Masha Bear on TV? Yeah? Okay, go see it. It's on the TV. Go ahead. It's loading. Let's hope it's still on. And all we're seeing this morning, but it's working. It's trying. It says loading. Um, we're seeing a little bit of rally back up. We're back, stably above 102. We knew that 102 was going to be an area. You can see it kind of stalled. I'll bring this across. You can see we hit, we based in here again, kind of stalled in there again, stalled in there again, and popped up higher. There is a little area right here of selling coming in. It's probably at a 50% retracement, right? Yeah, right around that. I'm sorry, 61. So again, it is going to be a level that we probably do have some selling, some reversal today. We're not far from it. We pop up just a little bit more, we could have the potential to turn and roll. So again, this would affect a lot of the different currencies. Okay. Indices right now, NQ's creeping out of the red. ESYM both down about 0.25%, and then again Russell's down 1%. I think the Russell's nervous. I think the Russell's just nervous. With the UK doing that, with Australia doing something, with Canada doing something, and the US holding. I know each economy is their own. But remember, there is a benefit to having a higher interest rate. There's more desire to head towards that country. So, again, kind of does matter a little bit. We'll see if the NQ starts to roll back a little bit lower. And again, it looks like Tesla's leading the charge there. Commodities, oil, look at that, down 3%, but we're holding right at that 70 mark, right? Holding right at that 70 mark. And then natural gas down at 260, 259.9, up just a smidge. And then gold and silver, both down. Not huge, about a quarter, about a third of a percent. Silver down at 22.5, gold 1925, 1926 level. I think they're going to be getting really nervous as well. I mean, people are stepping it up. People are trying to, control inflation, get it back down to where it's supposed to be. And it's working, and they're still raising because it's not moving fast enough. So, not necessarily the best environment there. But again, down 3%. I mean, I love this one oil-wise, right? Huge pop to the downside. And now we're playing with that kind of Harry Potter that we talked about. Remember, we do have inventory report today. Actually, I did not pull it. Let me see. Inventory report. Let me pull it out for you guys real quick. I believe it is this one. Oh, it's a blue offer now. Nope, don't care about that. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it's a monstrous mover in oil. And again, we'll cover that as we get a little bit closer. It is 11 o'clock reading, so we can't really trade news today. But it was expected to be down a little bit. It was down a little bit today, so nothing too crazy. But we're seeing a strong pushback, and the Europeans just took this. Now, you may say, okay, well, why was there such a big European push? It's normally more of a U.S. type move. Yeah, absolutely. But the reason why it was more of a big push, there's that R word that Bailey mentioned, right? That we're not trying to force it into a recession, but at the same time, it's kind of like, man, every time you raise interest rates, you put more stress on the system, and it can lead to a recession. A big spike like this, going from where they were at 4.5 up to 5, it does put more stress on the system and could potentially cause a recession. Which again, remember, oil is a very forward-looking market, but huge push. But look at this, right? The red, green, red. We got the confirmation coming in down here, right? Finally, down in here. And we saw this run back up again, right in the overnight. And then again, European session open, 3 o'clock. Boom, all the way back down again. We retraced all the moves from yesterday, all the way back down to 70. So again, going from, what was the high today? 72.66 all the way down to 70.21. Actually, we got as low as 70.10. That's quite a big move in one day for not a whole lot of news. So again, market can get crazy. Looking at currency. So yesterday we drew a level. We were sitting right about here. And we said, hey, listen, there's sellers in there. You can see there's a confirmation that came in. It ended up hitting it the first time at 2:30, and then late last night at about, About 10 o'clock. We ended up hitting this level. And you can see it pulled back again. We see these areas in the middle. Again, nice little tested area. We just extended across. So again, it did push back down. It was a nice little runner, right? About 45 pips, and then came back up and used it. Right now, we're stuck in the middle of ranges, and you can see it keeps bouncing off this old level, right? Right? Bounce, 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 bounce. Came up, and then what did it do? No Harry Potter entry. We knew we had something down south. Hit it and took off. Hit it and took off. Hit it and took off. So I would expect it to break. We do have a little Harry Potter trade here as this one comes back down as it breaks through 67.31. I think that's pretty decent. But again, if you did put this pullback yesterday, nice little run off of it. Right now, you were up about 37 profit, right? Pretty easy little, again, drop, base, drop, front run, pullback, and again, 2 o'clock reversal time frame. It really needed the late night one, but you can see that basing there was a nice little push. So level I don't think is usable again, but a nice little run in the overnight. So right now, wait for this to drop just a little bit further. I'll just extend that across to make this easy. Right. You just want to be able to see it right there. And again, basing, hit, 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 comes down. This is kind of hit number 4. Could it bounce one more time? Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, stabilized here, stabilized here, stabilized here, stabilized here. But every time it hits it, it's eating a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Could we hit one more time? Sure. But when it finally does break through, I do like to run back down all the way down to this 786 level, down at 67 flat. All right. Aussie yen. Kind of staying the same way as well. You know, we got a pullback. We mentioned there's a level around a 50. It was okay. We like the Aussie dollar better. Let's see this one pulled up. I'll make this one now. I agree what it did. We talked about it yesterday, right? What? Okay, just stay away from it. And the spider will leave you alone. Okay, we're just going to Daddy's room. Okay, that sounds good. I don't know if you heard that. Now she's like, I saw a spider in the unicorn room. I was like, okay, I got it. So just stay away from it. She's like, I'll stay in the other room. I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh, daughters and spiders. Anyway, again, simple rule. We talked about it yesterday. We like the Aussie dollar move better. The Aussie dollar move happened kind of over here. This one also did late last night. Again, it was a big push down, a pullback, and then a push through. And again, a red, green, red confirmation came in. We knew we'd have the 50s coming in. If you were looking for that 50, guess what? You missed it, but it did grab the supply zone and is pushing back lower. Really, the trade was here. It's trying to do it again. And again, it's getting some yen help right now. What I would say is look for this one to come down. It's not as clean on the bottom side. But right now, again, look to take profit before 95.65. It's a level. We've seen it go off there in the past. It's got quite a bit of room to run right now, about 65 pips. This has a daily ATR of 100, so it's got to go over a half day's worth of movement. Is there enough catalyst out there right now to drive that down? Maybe Powell says something that jacks up the stock market, and then we get some yen move. Um, but right now, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think there's that much help we can get in this one. You know, I think this one needs to meander. Things that I would look for though in this Aussie yen pair, if you do like trading this pair, we do have this big strong push down, and then again we've hit it here, we've hit it here, we've hit it here. We're starting to get high on the number of ticks, and I would be looking actually for a break of a level here. Okay. Again, what this would be is would be a Harry Potter trade to the north, right? We do have room. Excuse me. Let me throw a long position so you guys can see it. And again, I don't know when it's going to break. It may hit here one more time, but what I'm looking for is actually, you know what? What was that? Okay. You can see 1 to 3 is only right there. That's 3.01. So what this looks like when we do come up, if we start basing there, break of 96.82, which is all the way up to here, up to 97.20. We'll just make it 97.20. Just to make it easy. We'll go there. Easy. This one will be take it off, a buy and a sell. 17 pips for 52 in the other direction. It is a Harry Potter trade. It actually sneaks in right before the 78.6. There is a 68 in there, 61.8. Not a lot there that I'm like looking at. I'm like, ooh, watch out for that one. So decent little trade. Again, all it is a trend continuation. Look for the base, wait for the pull up, base, pull back, pull the trigger. Hey Jen, I'm in a webinar. Can you take him in the other room, please? Go in Daddy's room, okay? I can't have you standing right next to me screaming and making him mad, okay? Careful, bud, you're gonna fall. Oh, he's gonna. They love the laundry baskets. All right, so long trade there, 68. I'm sorry, 98.68. I'm sorry, 96.68 to 97.20. A little Harry Potter's to retrace back up into that range. Euro dollar, so nice little pop. Again, we had really no confirmation. Still waiting for the short to come through, and again, it's just base, 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 base. No entry, base, 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 and then yesterday at 10 o'clock, we started to see that dollar weakness roll in. Now it's hit up into the 110 range. We know 110 is a big psychological level. Um, you know, looking at this one, are we looking for a full retrace back down again? You know, there's not a great. I mean, I guess you could potentially use that. We don't have an entry right now. It's kind of pulled down and came back up again. I do like the push down. There is obviously a hiccup that we have to acknowledge. It happened at 10 o'clock yesterday, a nice rally, and then kind of basing sideways, and then a nice pop higher. It's not a true racetrack like this one was, where it was just a big boom, like a push down. It obviously went up and slowed, 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 slowed. So it's there. It's not as clean. Um, looking at this, do I see more euro dollar strength coming in? I do see more dollar strength coming in overall. But yeah. Oh god. Hmm. I wish there was a better basing up top. There's an alright base right here. And again, we had this little confirmation at 8:30. We kind of popped up and grabbed it. What did you do? Daddy fix. Daddy fix. Hold on. Daddy fix. Um he has like a free Amazon Fire tablet that we got Jin like 5 years ago. It was like free, right? It like plays YouTube, like the YouTube app for like 20 minutes and then it runs out of memory. It's like that horrible. Here, buds. Here. Here. There you go. There's Coco Melon. So I like this one to the downside. I kind of like the 110 again being a cycle. No, go. Um, Jen, can you take him in the daddy's room? Play in his pack and play. Um, there, Kip. I do like it to the downside. I like the entry up here better. Again, I like the psychological nature of it. It's kind of already hit at one time. We can get some basing here. Maybe we pull the trigger. But I am looking at this one to come back short again, probably ending up more likely down here into this 902 range. Turn this yellow. 109.26 range. I do think we have a hiccup in here. We're going to run into some problems. It's probably it's probably a fib level. Yeah, it's sitting right at the 50. So there's probably going to be some stalling right here. So there's not enough for a Harry Potter down here. If we rally back up and we get a running start, maybe that gives us the ability to punch through. It is about 45 or 47 pips from the 110 down to that level. So I think that's probably a better bet for it. But just again, if we just falter down right now, I do think this could be a reversal today. So yeah, just worry about that. Keep that on your radar. Euro pound. All right, so euro pound. We ended up getting this we were all the way down here yesterday, right? Wednesday we punched up and then 7:30 we started the pull back again. It was a little bit late. We punched higher again. And again, this was the problem with not really doing a Harry Potter. There wasn't enough room. It punched, it punched, it punched, it punched, it punched, and then we came right to where the news was. So I'm going to remove the actual note here. Overall, we were talking about getting short from the 86 level. It actually ended up going higher at 3 o'clock this morning and actually almost putting a short trade in. You can see I'll remove this because, again, that wasn't the top. We were looking for that top in there. You can see we're actually lower than what we started right now, the news. And again, this big pop up and down was the surprise raise. Not only did it raise, they did a double. Okay. Right now, obviously, with the wiki candle up and down, it's hard to put a true top. Had this been your top, you would have got wicked out on there. As it said, we don't know what to do with this. Let's smash the top side. Let's smash the lower side. And I think that was kind of what the market did here, I think makes sense. Understand how irrational this candle is, though. This candle moved 63 pips top to bottom. Okay. It opened and closed at 3 pips. So 63 pips top to bottom. Its open and close in a 30-minute window was only 3 pips. It has a daily ATR of 45 pips. So it moved 1.5 times its daily movement, if its average daily movement, right? 1.5 times top to bottom, but yet open and close 3 pips from each other. So again, really kind of threw people for a loop for this one. So again, if this was one of those ones that you were trying to get in short and got stopped out, kind of one of those trades where it was weird. And again, we were looking for the top, and it looks like they knew. They ended up using this level right up here. They ended up using this. And again, this whole area is sellers, right? We're just trying to find the last confirmed level. And it had a couple confirmations on it, but this is the whole level of sellers right there. And that's exactly what we ran into right above. Okay. I think if you had gone short out of it, yeah, you can see it hit it and went down first, right? So If you had gotten into a short, you were good. You got out before it did its spike. I think you can see it here. No, it's already too quick there. It has to be on the 5 minute where it hit it and dropped. So it did come back up and grab the level, right? And then, yeah, 73 to the down. Or, I'm sorry, 37 to the downside. So, it was there. I do like this one short. Unfortunately, finding a good top on this one, to set your level of risk is going to be a little bit difficult as it chop back and forth. Again, typically we don't use the euro pound as kind of a news-based trade either. It just doesn't move enough. We use some of the other currencies out there. But we're going to see this candle a lot of times. Anything with a pound really had the same exact candle. Um, not only was it a raise, but it was like the double, and you don't see the double raise too often. Or like typically with interest rates, it's odd that if they raised it, they were off, right? A lot of times they either expected no raise and it was a tiny raise, or they expect a raise and it didn't happen. It's very rare that the raise was right, but it was they put a double raise in versus just the single 2.5. So kind of a weird one. So overall, bearish the euro pound. Great entry level right now. No, no, and actually this one a little bit lower, so I don't even need that at this point. So, but I do look at this for this one to roll back down in the 85.50 range. Just not a great entry for today, so I'm gonna let that one slide. Euro yen, you can see euro yen also pushing up higher, and again, 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is the magic number that breaks, and it broke at 10 yesterday. It did give us the pullback, right? The base, the pullback, and continuation. Still looking for a top, and I don't have the top. I don't see a good candle that I'm in love with. Um, there's an okay one right here. Again, it was kind of more news based, but with this continuing to rally up, we really need some type of a good push. Again, I do like the level down here below, right? No entry down here, but it pushed it to the brink. So when we do come back down, this is one of those trades where, hey, listen, eventually when it does come back down, and it will, it's 230 pips away. So it's 2 days worth of movement away. When it does come back, we're in. Right now, we have the number of touches that we expect to break, and we do have the confirmation. So that could potentially be a level. Running fibs from this most recent high to low, you can see that it kind of came back and maybe people got in. Right now, none of these coinciding levels, nothing at the 50, nothing at the 61.8. A little bit down here at the 78, but I'm not concerned when we get down there. Here's a base, and it didn't even pull back to that base. So right now, we just need more. Um, I wouldn't say that anything in this one I'm in love with. I just don't. No real big top. I'm not going to try to put a top on this one until I have some type of confirmation of sellers coming in, and we don't have it yet. So unfortunately, you're not going to have a setup in every single trade. We're not there yet with this one. Okay. Now pound dollar. Okay, so pound dollar. Again, we were short there. Second target yesterday morning. We ended up hitting. We came back up and used that level, pushed down again, and magically it went up again, right at 5:30, and then boom, nice push down. And again, I'm sure that it came week first. There was your week first, and actually this one did pop and go the other way. So again, another hard one, right? Very similar, top to bottom, 105 pips. This has a 96 pip ATR, so a little bit over. Okay, where did you get that at? A little bit over daily ATR, and then again, top to bottom in that 30-minute candle, 7 pips. 7 pips. So again, so much indecision. People aren't sure to do with it. So this one we mentioned, we've been here a few times. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 hits right there. Fourth is what smashed right through it again, as it should. It ended up in going and using the very top side of it here, and again, that's where the last big confirmation was, and that's what it used. So could you have grabbed the extent, the upper side? Sure, absolutely. Obviously, this trade was out here. Okay, so we'll take that off. That target's out. We're gonna take this one because that's about where it should have turned. So that guy is out. It's actually not a bad basing candle. 630. Actually not horrible. Maybe we'll look for a potential reversal there. Let me take this guy off. That guy. Look at all the basing. Base. Came up. Base. All late last night. Came through in base. So not really a level we can trade with right now. There's so much basing on that one. 6. Um, yeah. So right now, this is actually not the worst level. Again, a little bit of chop ahead of time with all the news that we have coming. Again, the news just came out. How specifying. Um, maybe that retail sales number. What do we got? 55. Hmm. Not a bad level. Again, newly established. Did do it with 4 candles instead of just 2, which I prefer. Did chop a little bit, but that was a nice turning point there. Could be a level to watch out for. If we're sitting there for either of these news releases, 127.10, watch out for that level. That could definitely be a reversal level. And again, it could go before then, but with all the news we have in there, it could be a level we bounce off of. Maybe they use it as like a what? Stop hitting the buttons, please. What do you want? You don't want this one? Here. Here's JJ. Here, look, you can put it right here. Right there, buds. Look at that. Cha cha. Um, yeah. So look for potential reversal if you like it. I think if this was again, if it was 10:30 down here, I'd like it. Maybe at 2 p.m. Maybe if we accelerate down here for 2 p.m., then we see the weakness come in. If not, use it for news. But right now, being kind of in the middle of the road between the two big extreme levels, again, I think you need to wait or look for a reversal potentially down there. Pound yen. All right. So again, same craziness, right? We talked about this being a level, and again, we'd been here before, but we like this area for short. You can see it did. It's shorter than that level right now. It had rallied all the way up there. It was pretty close at 6:30, so we knew it was coming in. And again, very strong push in. Let's see, did this one go up or down first? Yeah, this one went up first, and then the weakness slammed in. Let's see, what was the craziness on this one? 172 pips. Okay, it has a 157 daily ATR. Just in that candle, 172 pips, and the open to close was 9 pips. So talk about really throwing the market. It's like we have no idea what this means. Let's wipe everybody out up top, wipe everybody out below. And again, that was a 100 pip up and 90 pip down. Stop wipeout, right? Trying to wipe everybody out. And again, that's what unexpected news can do, right? So, yeah. At this point, we mentioned that it was here. We push it to the brink already. Again, a little front run. It's broken now. So, again, this one we can be pulled off. At this point, I would really be looking for kind of, where we push up to? 92.48. I think you got to be looking up here, right? I think we look for 183 as being the next big target that this one hits to the top side. Um, Overall, again, I do think this push higher, especially versus the yen. I think this one makes sense. Again, that's a big push. Bailey looks like he's committed. I think they will pause next time, but I think there's plenty of time from now till then, so we should see this one continue to rise. As far as entries for it, um, again, maybe we get some help at the yen. Maybe Powell says something insane and gives some yen strength in there. Maybe the yen tries to intervene when it does finally break through 197. Don't know when, but I do like that area. At this point, I think we hit this first. Um, yeah, I think this is I think we push up, right? I think we push up to 192 or 193 ish. Okay. There will be something at 182.50. Again, there'll be people that are support resistance traders like, oh, look, there's sellers there. There is, right? There was. But with it cleared on that type of a push, again, the turn here was not because of major sellers. The turn there was because as people saw this go up, they tried to buy it, and then once they were all gone, they sold it, and then when they bought it, then they lost everything. It came back up again. So it was literally just a whipsaw to try to wipe everybody out. That's what that was. Okay, we can go a little bit higher as well. Dollar CAD dropping. So we finally broke through. Again, this was the first hit. 2, 3, 4. it went through and came back up and actually went up and grabbed that level. Sorry, one of my parents is like, "Do we have practice tonight? Was it canceled? I do not see it on the schedule." It's like, yes, it was removed. If it's not on the schedule, you do not attend. But yes, it was removed because numerous players were going to miss it because they are already going to the tournament, and we have 2 games. So, um, oh, Project Horizon. I was like, oh wait, what? I thought that was the sub. I'm like, I don't know if you guys are have you guys been following the Titanic sub thing, whatever its name is, the Ocean Gate or whatever. I've been like each day I'm like watching, right? I know there's like 2 submersibles now there looking for it. I'm like rooting for those people. You get a couple people that are like, I've been on that thing 4 times, and yeah, it's scary, but and other people are like, oh my god, it's a death trap. You know, yeah, it's easy to call it a death trap when it's missing. But like, other guys have like, I've been on it 4 times. It is what it is. It's like, okay. Yeah, submariner was never my thing. So where dollar cat is right now, again, it took a long time to break through. This was a higher time frame level. We knew we finally smashed through it with the 4 hits. So we can take this off now. We don't actually need it. Um, Looking at this and about where the big target is next. Now we had to go up to higher time frame levels to be able to find something. We knew that that was there. I think we still have one lower. No, we do not. So yeah, so this is where kind of we were looking for this one to push. We knew it kind of had a level sitting in kind of somewhere in there, and then we're in racetrack territory. Okay, it's again, this is an old discontinuation of that. Let me pull this over just so I can see it on the lower time frames. Let's change this to dotted. All right, so let's suck this back. All right, good. Look at that. Magically, it popped right off. All right, so what we're looking for here is we're looking for a bit of a continuation pattern with this one. We're looking for it to break base and then pull back through again. It is a Harry Potter trade, and again, this is a Harry Potter on the 4 hour, so it is quite a large. You know, it is quite. I want to say that it's gigantic. It's 18 pips. So is it big for this pair? Yes, but it's also formed on a 4 hour, which is not really that much. Actually, let me see. Can I see it on a 2? If I can see it on a 2, yeah, maybe. Unfortunately, I can't change it too much. There, let's see. How much did that change? 15. 15 lines. So 16 pips. So, again, I'd like to see this push to the downside. Let's see. This would be short and green profit target right there. So thinking is, we know we have buyers. We may hit it one more time. We may hit it 2 more times, but eventually this is going to break. These buyers will disappear. We've seen it in the past. This is really the confirmation off of it. Could you take it long from there? Sure, you could, but overall, we want to see this one continue to go to the downside. Again, this is kind of the threat of dollar weakness coming in. Again, if they mention that, any comments about, hey, listen, yeah, we're going to pause again, or if a couple other people say, yeah, we're not, we're going to pause twice. We need more data, right? It should continue to push this one lower. Anything bullish coming out of the CAD. Remember, no news is good news, and the US has data tomorrow, but the CAD really doesn't. So I'd kind of like to see this kind of bury itself in here. This is all this data is Tuesday of next week. This is durable goods and year-over-year inflation. So if this is not as low, there's no forecast, but if it's not as low as what they had previously thought, again, nice push back to the downside. Okay. I love some of the clickbait junk that I get. I just saw an email that was talking about Musk versus Zuckerberg cage fight. I'm like, yeah, that's happening. And Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, in a cage fight, right? Celebrity cage fighting on UFC pay per view, right? I love that stuff. Some of the things that people come up with are pretty ingenious. Um, Overall, all right. So again, we're looking for a break. Look for it to come base in here. Really, the question of this one is the base, right? I guess if we pull back through and then start the base lower and pull back, great. But I prefer this for the base in the system. And all as it is continued dollar weakness. And again, it's more driven by the dollar here than the CAD than anything else. All right. So that one's set up. And again, maybe we take one more bounce, maybe we take one more bounce, and number 3 or number 4 is when we finally break through. Again, keep it on your watch list. It's an if this then that kind of trade. Dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss. We were waiting for it to come back up, and we're like, 90.13. That's where it's at. It ended up giving us a peak yesterday at 9, pulled back down, and gave us kind of this like little failure to go higher at 3 o'clock in the morning for a US based or for a session, right? Session open. Could you have traded this one at 9? Yeah, you could have, right? Again, here is one of those failure to go higher as it came down, pulled back up again, and closed through. It was a confirmed level, and it went all the way back down to the bottom. Ideally, I think our assessment of this one was we were probably a little bit too conservative. Again, we couldn't see these yesterday. We only had this candle right here. Oh, hold on, that would be why. Right. We had this candle here yesterday morning at like 10:30. It's like, it's okay. And there's a red, green, red. So you had, sellers confirmed in there. You could have shrunk it down and said, okay, I'm going to use this level right here. And if you did, you could have got an entry here at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you could have done it here at 9:30 for the US Open. So they're both basically the same. Um, Again, we didn't really have the luxury of knowing that this confirmation was there because it didn't come in until 12:30 yesterday. So it's there. It's aggressive. Again, it was prior to the 50, prior to the 61.8, prior to our level at 90.13. Nice push all the way back down to the bottom side, and then it's kind of rallied back up. So we're kind of sitting in the middle of that big spike right now. Um, I still think that this is a decent level, the 90.13, right? Um, Sorry, I was trying to see if I got a phone call. Nope. No. Sorry, just waiting for it. Like anytime my phone rings, it's like, oh, 2026. Okay. Okay. All right. So right now, would I take this off the bottom again? It's kind of been down here a few times. It drove about halfway, over halfway into the zone. We could mark that zone, right? But right now, it's been touched more than a few times, and it's pretty deep. So I think it probably fails. I think we're waiting for this one to go even further. Um, Again, another dollar weakness based trade. If we can spike up, again, I still like the 90.13. Again, this level here would not use. Again, it's almost completely gone at this point. The next one would be up top. And again, new level formed, pushed halfway, pushed 90% of the way. The next push up shouldn't, maybe it stalls a little bit, but I think we're looking for the 913. Dollar yen. All right, dollar yen going higher. So we talked about a level here breaking through. We're really looking for a base. We are looking for this to go higher. We're looking for the touch 143.10, but we're really looking for a base, right? And again, 1, 2, 3 broke, and then you saw some basic in 4. Didn't really pull back to that level either. Um, you got to pull back down, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for a base. Once we get a base somewhere in here, look for the pullback and then the continuation pattern. Ideally, we're shooting for the 143.10, potentially even higher. We were talking about an entry around here, about 142.50 ish, but we wanted a base, right? There's kind of a base. Oops, not 15-second. Nope. Nope. What was I looking for? Oh, 15-minute. It's not really the base that I want. These are not the pips, or these are not the candles I'm looking for, right? Not the wicks I'm looking for. Um, Be a great podcast, right? Little Star Wars themed trading show. These are not the wicks you're looking for. Ah, hoping we get something like this, right? Even something like this, I'd be happy with, right? Give me a base like this, right? Just a couple candles, right? Go up, down, and then do whatever you want to do, just like that, right? Look, just I want this, right? This is what I want. I want this, right? But upside down, right? I want this. I want the base, 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 base. A big pop up, a tear back down again, and then a continuation. I want this, but over here, reversed, upside down, right? Yeah. What did I just do? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Uh, that's interesting. Japanese year-over-year inflation. That the forecast is coming in at 4.1 versus 3.5. Hmm. Look, another one of those like whether bank intervention or bank raise, right? What? Get down. Here. With this? There you go. Take that. Here, take this. Other side. Put it in this side, bud. There. There you go. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if Pal giving us anything. The prepared remarks were identical to Wednesday's testimony. I love it. His prepared remarks were identical to Wednesday. So, oh, existing home sales came in good. Hmm. Yeah, so he's saying something probably. We just haven't gotten the headline through. Um, ugh. I really like to take this long and then find a reversal. I'm wondering if we can push up. Maybe we'll get a top. Maybe it won't pull back. Maybe we'll get a top put in before this forecast. Maybe we'll get a base put in somewhere up here, right? And then maybe we look to take this. Oops, not array. Maybe we look at something like that. God, I was really hoping we get a base in there. I really like this push through. I don't know. Maybe we'll still get it. Maybe we'll still get the base we're looking for, right? Cap, stop, please. The birds are gonna bite you. Yeah. I was hoping we get more out of that one. TLT obviously down. Obviously down. Let's look at oil. Oil we already talked about. Again, came down, touched 70. That's exactly what we needed. Hey, stop. We don't do that. I love this. 69.97. Tell me that whole numbers don't matter, right? That's good though. Again, this is good. Give us the base. So what's happening right now? Let me explain this one real quick. So again, we're looking for a base somewhere in there. We had kind of a little bit of a base. Like if we base in there again, that's just what we're using for the draw right now. That could have been it. Right now with the candle forming here, we may actually get a base up here, which is fine because then if we do this, actually it's this one, right? With it basing right here, right? Now we can get the pull down, the pull up, and then the drop to the downside. Okay. So we can get one of those. So instead of finding try to get the base down here in the pullback, we could be getting the new form, the more near term base right now. So again, I still think we're good on this one. I think we're forming the base right now. So this one would be the one, this could be I don't think the news is going to change it too much today, but I think again, if we can get a little bit of a base after this news time, look for an afternoon push, and then maybe something in the overnight or potentially European session with all the PMI data. Like I said, one crappy PMI data down. This is a nice push. Natural gas. All right, so natural gas. Yesterday we talked about a potential reversal 10:30. It reversed a little bit and then immediately pushed back up again. It got to about a 1-to-1 before reversing on there. And again, it was kind of like an aggressive hope on there. Again, there was nothing supporting it besides that. Ended up not working out, which again, it happens. Not the end of the world. You can see the 50 at base kind of teased people and then went higher. And then the 61.8 teased people and they were like, oh God, come on, move, 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 move. And then they got stopped out and it went back down and now it's continuing to push higher. So there are sellers up at the 78. Not enough that I'd be willing to throw a trade on there. I think right now, look for this one to kind of go up to its extreme range. Kind of pushing up here. Right? It's all right. I hate to look at this and say, hey, listen, 268 is our next sell because that means we're up in the 260s. But really, what's going to stop us? A little bit here, right? A little bit there. A little bit there, but is it the best? I guess some people like it. I guess some people like it because it's a 78.6. Yeah, I mean that makes sense candle wise. It's drawn right, but don't love a 786. Not me in particular, but there are people that do. There are people that tell you that that's where the short is. It's just not my. It's not my jam. They'll tell you that 264. Um, no, that one's glass. You cannot have that one. You can have this one though. This is plastic. You can have that one. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think this one's going higher. It's like wah wah wah. Gold. Gold continue to deteriorate. So gold, we're looking for basing. I mentioned this one yesterday. What we're really looking for gold to do, we know, looking back, we know right now we're kind of sitting in this level, right? There was a little bit of a base. There's a lot of chat back and forth. There is a level sitting here, but we've hit the level a few times. So can it use 1913 as a bounce? Sure, it could. But we're really looking to take over this level here. This is a very, very clean drop with a break below 1907.67. Really looking for this one. And again, if we start breaking here, it's like, oh God, are we going to hit 1900? Then it'll get sucked in and then we'll be at 1900. People are like, oh my God, we're below 1900. And that's where more sellers jump in to push us down before we find a bottom. So here, here, there. Poor kid. Hold on. Did he need surgery? Yeah. So Monday night, kid came over and basically they're like, yep, his wrist is broken. They walked over and he had the big lump, just like my player did earlier in the season. I was like, oh, yep, that's definitely broken. And the coach just messaged me back and said, yep, it's broken in 3 places. He should be cleared when soccer starts. It's like, oh, yeah, poor kid. First summer league game, broken wrist. It's like, oh, and it was like we had to support his arm, right? We had to support his arm just so it didn't flop because it wasn't attached anymore. Well, it was attached. The skin was there, right? But you know what I mean. Yeah, it's gruesome. So yeah. So again, we know we got the Harry Potter trade over here. We're looking for a base in there. Here, I'll just send this across. I'd like to get something with a little bit less risk in there, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this to come down, start basing, and having problems in the low 1910-ish range. Give me a base, look for the pullback, and use that as the new level. But we're looking for this one to break through 1900, potentially today. Okay. Silver. It's accelerating. So we talked about potentially coming down and hitting this 22, but we're looking for 22.9. What is it? 22.29. Looking for eventual touchdown here at 22. Looking through. This one didn't really have enough room, and you can see smashed in, smashed in, smashed in, kind of pulled back and continue to push. Right now, we'll extend the fibs down just to kind of help it a little bit. You can see there is a small area over here at the 23.6 level, right around what 22.73 ish, right? This level, we'll go back and look at it. This was a target, right? This was our first target. It was an okay zone, but it's kind of backstop. There's a little zone here with 3 touches, a zone here with 2, and this will be our 3rd touch. We're really looking to hit the 22 mark and then figure out if that's going to be our new bottom. So this is hit number 3 or hit number 4. I think it comes down. Is there a great trading opportunity out of this one? Not right now. Gold's kind of the leading force. Silver is now almost double what gold is. It's doing exactly what it should do. But I do think 22 becomes a little bit of a floor right now because people are going to be shell shocked that holy crap, it's not at 80 or 60 or 100 like we were supposed to be. We're back at 22. We're going in the wrong direction. I think that's again. I do think it belongs more down at the 22 mark. If you guys were here last week, I said, hey, listen, 24 is insane. There's nothing to justify that. Um, again, amazing that we did do a pause and now we're seeing it deteriorate even faster, right? I think the market's really starting to, or the people that were trying to trade silver, I think are really starting to get it that, hey, listen, this fight is serious. This fight is not going anywhere. You know, the fight of inflation is real, right? You got to be careful, cautious of this one. So yeah, I think that one's coming down. Still trying to form that top. It's like, come on, form that top for me, man. Form that top. Wonder if oil's gonna potentially shoot this to the downside. See how it's forming the base there. See how it's basing in that level, right? Again, I just drew it. That's where I was looking for, but look at the base that it's forming right there, right? They're like trying to do a. Hmm. Hmm. It's tempting. It's tempting. If we get a little push down and a push up, the problem is that's only 30 minutes. So yeah, we are sitting in a level right now. I'm wondering. The way it looks like now, we're going to get the spike down. We get a surplus in that inventory report. It's trying. It's tempting. It's tempting. So, Apple, Tesla, both in the green. Looks like ES has finally clawed its way out. What are you doing, buds? Okay, stop. Stop. Smashing it won't work more. Here. Here. Look at that. Oh, buds, you got to poop. I can smell it. All right. ES. Let's see what we got as far as opening print goes. Looks like yesterday at 2:30 we talked about a big level there. Looks like we got the touch at 12 and then pushed back down again. We were mentioning a reversal level. It looks like we did get the reversal back, and then it found more buyers to get itself higher. So, just a quick ES little trade in there. Let's see what we got now. Yeah, it makes sense. It's doing what it's doing. On a 15-minute, 9:30, 9:15. So, yeah, you could have taken this one. I don't love it. Forming the low right there, the 645 candle, right? It did pull back. And again, 1, 2, 3. I expected the 23 to break. 50 would have been the next target. It did pull back again before the open today and came back to the level of basing. Is it a true kind of honest to God, um, you know, adherence to the rules? Now, we typically want a confirmation first in the overnight. It did confirm using the same level. It went just slightly lower. The 915 kind of popped in there and then pulled away from it. So, in essence, if you delete that one and kind of say, hey, listen, there's our zone because it's lower. So, there's the new zone. The 9 came down and touched it and confirmed it, right? So, it kind of looked like, right? It gave us the base, it pulled up, it confirmed, and then it went up and then opened right there, right? That's where the open happened. I'll remove this so you can see it, right? Actually, I guess I was off a little bit. Sorry. It's harder on that bigger time frame. It's like that. So we came down, basing, up, space, confirmation, came up and closed the way. So then it pulled back and took off. So technically, yes, opening print. Going down to the finer details, it did meet the rules. Would have been a little bit more aggressive, just so you understand that. Not an everyday trade. But again, even on the 15-minute, you're able to see it. And again, 1 to 3 was hit. It is higher right now. Pausing around the 50. We'll see if we continue to push higher. I'm saying, get a comment from Pal yet? No, just that they're the same. Give me a comment. Come on. I know you want to. I know you got one. Look, 1, 3, 15, 21. They're all kind of flatlining. Everybody's like, just tell me something. Give me something good, right? So there's that one. Let's see. NQ, do we have anything? No, not really. NQ 915 was down. Yeah, unfortunately, the 915 it never left the zone. Use that as your base. So you can see it closed inside the base. So again, futures contract, dangerous. Options contract, you were fine. Again, it was hitting buyers down here. It was confirmed with the 915 candle. Typically, we'd like the confirmation earlier than that. But it never left. It never pulled up away and then opened higher and pulled back. It closed in there and it actually opened in that zone. So not really the best example of an opening print, but you can see much, much higher back up to an area of sellers. If we are going to see a reversal, most likely this is where the reversal is coming in. You're seeing 1033 hitting a level of sellers with a big push up. This is where you would tend to see that reverse and push back to the downside. YM. Unfortunately, YM went lower as well and then never really confirmed. Kind of a hard one to draw. It did go lower, but it's not. It's basically the same. See how it touches both of them, right? Showing us that there was an established zone here and then right there. So it shouldn't, again, established, cleared, expected to break through, and it did. Not by much, just enough to go on the other side to play with the support and resistance traders, right? Yeah, so not as clean, right? And if you don't use that one, if you use this one, there's never a confirmation in that zone. Not the best example. 50. Yeah, so ES is the best one so far. What do we got? This guy. This guy. Actually, 930 is here. Right. Someone left a little too early. There's your base. There's your touch and your pullback. And then hit it again. Hit it again. And then failed. And then boom. So this is almost a look at this. Parabolic move, parabolic replacement. The retrace is real. Or anybody that tried to trade that with a 23. Yeah. Unfortunately, opening print was already down here, right? And we pulled down, pulled down, pulled down. Again, was not if you try to use this confirmed level and say, oh, it's going long, can't. There's a zone right there, right? If you looked at this one and said, oh, look at that, you can't, right? There's definitely not a 1 to 3 in there, right? And again, with it kind of accelerating, going lower, you know it's running out of steam very, very quickly. So, yeah. So again, not an opening print, and again, that tends to be if there's other setups, the Russell is not it. So it looks like ES had the best one. ES had the only one that really made sense. NQ again, options wise, you were good. We're at a reversal point now, and YM it pulled back, but it never really had the confirmation in there. And again, huge push off. I mean, had you taken this one with more of an options based move, then yeah, you did fine. It launched itself higher. Again, huge push, right? But yeah, not really didn't meet the rules. So is what it is. All right, what's Vix doing? Vix probably going. Yeah, Vix. It's funny. Vix pulling back very, very quickly, but everything's kind of in an area where there's reversals. Let's see. It's basing. Look, see, it's doing the base. We talked about the base. There's your basing. One is getting fun. Look, dollar in the last 5 minutes spiking. So Powell saying something. That's too nice. What is that? That's 102.18. It's 15-cent move. That's pretty decent. Come on. There we go. There you go. Broadly feels that it'll be raised again this year and perhaps two more times. A strong majority of the committee feels there is little further to go. There is a little further. Oh yeah, a little further to go. Okay, I read that wrong. It would be perfect, but no guarantee that labor market can get into better balance without unemployment rising. Yeah, we have not seen much progress in services inflation. So yeah. So yeah, it sounds like more is coming. Again, that's good for the dollar. This is interesting. Perhaps two more times. I just don't know. I feel like if they raise again, they should wait. I feel like if anything, raise next time, wait, then potentially raise again. I don't know. I would assume that if they pause, they're going to wait again to see if it works. So yeah, so that's why we're seeing the movement. Powell's like, yeah, it could be twice. Strong majority, except that Bostic dude, right? It's all Bostic. All right, that's it for today. So again, tomorrow, understand we got all the services manufacturing data coming in. Again, I'm wondering if this services PMI data will come down, right? This is what he's talking about, right? Right? Um, hmm. Wondering if this goes down. Again, he's specifically talking about services. I'm wondering if we're seeing this service sector deteriorate a bit. That could be that could definitely lead to kind of a red day, right? Because if he's saying, hey, we haven't seen much movement in inflation, but services comes in showing a contraction in services, yeah, that's kind of a bigger picture recessionary tool. So yeah, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do the giveaway. What do we got going in here today? Look at this. Somebody going in big. And again, this is a number 3. So it's exactly what he should be doing. He should be going in huge on this one, right? And he's got 2 days worth of dealer's chips, right? 2 days of dealer's chips trying to sweep it. And again, this will be the last one for the week. So, you know, he did actually, I do believe he made a comment about how he's taken the whole thing this week. I do believe he was the one. Was that last week or this week? I feel like it was this week, right? What, Buzz? What? What do you want? We're going to wait for 6 more seconds. You want to hit the button? You want to hit the button? Mister, I was up at 5 o'clock today. Here, hit the button. Here, hit the button. Ready? Hit this button right there. Here. Hit the button right there. Hit the button. Go. All right, do you want to pick the winner? Do you want to pick the winner? Yeah, you picked the winner? What? He's like, it didn't do anything. Nothing lit up. Because he can't. He's not a big screen. All right, winner today's drawing is. Oh. Oh. Wow. There's a big thud. Wow. Neuro won it with 14% chance of winning. Wow. Wow. This is like, US beating Russia in Olympic hockey. Wow. Ernest had a plan. He executed his plan. And Neuro comes in with, oh, no, 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 no. Wow. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. Go Neuro. And again, that's how the cookie crumbles. This day, exacts a heavy toll. I know, right? Wow. And you did it with 2. Wow. Gotta say, Neuro, impressed with that one. If you thought Texas was sweltering before, you wait to see what Dallas is doing right now. Right? There could be keyboards destroyed, chairs thrown. Wow. Man, he had played that one 3 days in a row, right? Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. All right. With that, buds, come on. No, no. Those are cough drops. Those are not baby treats. Come on, we'll go get some baby treats. You want baby treats? All right. I'm out of here, guys. Oh, here you go. Natural gas came in a little bit above what was expected. So, again, not the end of the world. We should get some more pal comments today. Kev, just grab it. Come on. Oh, somebody's trying to help me down. Stop. Get down. Go. I'm almost done. Again, I'm not going to be on tomorrow morning, guys. I will be driving to Deep Creek, Maryland for the boys tournament. I will be back on Monday, though. Whether I have a voice or not, I will do my best to get back. So, Kip, here. Stop. We're in the terrible 2 stage. So fun. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll catch you back Monday morning. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. I know on the East Coast it's nothing but rain and thunderstorms. Hopefully everywhere else is better than what we got here. With that, I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great one. Take care.